I never imagined my quiet retirement as governor would end with an HOA president trying to steal my home of 50 years through a massive fraud scheme. But when they smashed my late wife's memorial bench and tried bulldozing my cherished garden at midnight, I had to wonder, what happens when they realize they've crossed the wrong governor? The pounding on my door at 7 a.m. yanked me from sleep. Exhausted from a late-night budget meeting, I opened it to find Helen Carter, our new HOA president, glaring with her usual disdain. "Governor Thompson, your roses are 3 inches too tall," she snapped, brandishing a measuring tape like a sword. "5th violation this month." Beyond her, I saw my wife Emily's rose garden, her pride for 49 years, until cancer took her last year. Every morning, she tended those roses while I sipped coffee on the porch. Now, they were a crime? "Helen," I said, keeping my cool, "those roses predate the HOA by decades." She smirked, shoving a paper at me. "New bylaws were passed last month. Being governor doesn't exempt you." I swallowed a retort about missing the meeting due to a state crisis and watched her storm off to nag my neighbor, Mike Reynolds, about his fence color. That afternoon, sorting mail, I found a chilling letter addressed to current resident, an eviction notice giving me 30 days to vacate. My hands shook. This was no mistake. I called Mike, my neighbor for 30 years, and a former HOA board member. "David, thank goodness," he said, voice tense. "Your house is on Zillow, listed this morning by Carter Realty, Helen's company." My stomach churned. I dug through my office, finding the original deed in Emily's files, along with a note I'd never seen. "My dearest David, if you're reading this, check the garden's 3rd rose bush." I buried our papers there. You teased my caution, but I knew we'd need them. Even in death, Emily was guarding our home. Shovel in hand, I dug under her favorite rose. As dirt flew, I overheard Helen on her phone next door. "It's legal. The digital transition scrambled records, and we're correcting them. By the time anyone notices, the sale's done." My shovel hit metal, a box with our deed, surveys, and a 1990 HOA clause protecting our garden. Helen saw me from her yard, her smug grin fading as she spotted the box. She bolted inside, already dialing. That night I couldn't sleep. In the basement, I found our 1974 deed and tax receipts, all filed by Emily's meticulous hand. A car door slammed outside. Through the window, I saw a realtor's SUV and Mike waving them off. I rushed out, deed in hand. "This house isn't for sale," I said. The agent frowned, showing her tablet. "County records say Valley Ridge HOA listed it for $900,000. My heart sank. Photos I'd never taken stared back. I called my friend Robert at the county office. While he checked records, I found a 6-month-old HOA notice about modernizing to digital. Helen had pushed it, claiming efficiency. I hadn't noticed, distracted by a budget crisis. Mike joined me, laptop open. The HOA's new system claimed I'd transferred my deed to them. "I never signed that," I said. Mike pointed to 5 other homes with similar transfers, all owned by longtime residents Helen had harassed. Robert called back. "David, the digital deed's signature is dated when you were at a Capitol speech. I've got video." My security team reported someone photographing my house, claiming HOA renovation work I never approved. Then Helen emailed, smugly noting the HOA's authority, and praising the lovely buyers, who valued proper lawn care. At the emergency HOA meeting, the room buzzed with tension. I walked in, gardening dirt on my jeans, clutching a briefcase with every document since 1973. Helen, in a sleek blazer, sneered at my appearance. "Governor Thompson," she said, spitting my title. "Hear about your property issue?" I stood tall. "I'm here about you selling my home without my consent." Gasps rippled. Helen waved papers. "Our digital system shows you haven't owned it since last year's update." I opened my briefcase. "I've lived here 50 years. Here's the deed." I held up the 1980 HOA agreement. Bylaw changes need a 75% homeowner vote. County records show no vote. Helen's face paled. Robert, now in the back, boomed. How does a database trump 50 years of legal records? Chaos erupted as Mike grabbed a dropped contract, dated months ago, proving Helen's premeditation. She fled, but police waited outside. Linda Harris, the HOA secretary, slipped me a USB drive. David, there's more, she whispered. It held spreadsheets, fake deeds, and records of Helen targeting dozens of homes countywide, exploiting elderly or absent owners. Mike's daughter, Claire, a data analyst, mapped the pattern, violations, ownership issues, then sales through Helen's firm. Linda revealed Helen's network, realtors, contractors, even a county clerk. A list of 30 more targets included my name, noting my grief as a weakness. They'd weaponized Emily's memory. The final straw came at midnight. Bulldozers roared up my street. My security team intercepted workers with a forged HOA order. I live-streamed it, exposing Helen's desperation. The next morning, I found Emily's memorial bench, where our grandkids once read, smashed, its plaque stolen. Linda's camera caught Helen herself doing it, plotting with a developer eyeing our block. Hidden cameras on my property, linked to Helen's IP, showed her stalking my schedule. She'd even used my Wi-Fi, logging every visit. By evening, state police surrounded Helen's house. Financial records Mike found showed offshore transfers. Helen's empire was crumbling. As they cuffed her, she screamed about my corrupt administration, but neighbors, once her victims, recorded her downfall. Agent Martinez briefed me. 17 neighborhoods, 40 homes targeted over 5 years. News vans swarmed. Helen accused me of political sabotage, but my 20-year record spoke louder. Linda, now the HOA president, drafted transparent bylaws dubbed the Thompson Rule. Victims reclaimed homes, and the FBI probed Helen's interstate ties. In my garden, I planted a new rose bush by Emily's rebuilt bench. Mike handed me coffee. Emily'd say your stubbornness saved us. He grinned. Little Sophie from down the street gave me a card, our hero, over a rose garden sketch. The Attorney General called about testifying at Helen's trial. I considered retiring quietly, but saw Emily's bench and knew I'd fight on. Our community healed, roses bloomed, and I realized this wasn't just about my home. It was about protecting everyone's. What do you think? Was Helen's scheme pure greed, or did she believe she could outsmart everyone? Share your thoughts below, especially on how far someone should go to protect their home. Your comments fuel these stories and could spark the next big discussion. Let's get this trending.